Hello, everyone, and welcome to MeowMix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
Victory!
Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. What a dominating game. Woo!
This is the best Panthers game I can remember seeing in like 2 years, maybe.
Yeah, easily 2 years. They came out there, punched Arizona in the mouth, and then kept them at arm's length the whole game. Anytime Arizona made a play, Carolina answered right back. It was awesome. Great game. Matt Rule, great coaching, all around.
Everything was great.
Kyler Murray was MVP talk before the season. He's looked really good up until last week, and then we shut him down. 133 yards through the air, 78 on the ground, and most of that was on that one run, that 48-yarder.
Yeah, he had a 48-yard run, 31 pass attempts, 133 yards. That sucks. Like, that is bad.
Yeah. He had 24 completions. They refused to give up the deep ball, and anytime they caught the ball, the defense swarmed, got them down. They did not let them get behind them. They weren't missing a ton of tackles. It was the best this defense has looked by far. And I'm talking about this defense looks completely different from week one. It looks like it could be a solid, good defense.
Yeah, and I don't think it's because of who we've played either, because the Chargers have a very good offense, and you can see that today with their game. And the Cardinals have all the weapons in the world. Like, they have a good offense as well. So this, I think, is definitely more of a product of good coaching. Obviously, we drafted extremely well. It took 7 defensive players in our draft, and almost all of them made the roster. And they're starting to play together. They're starting to gel. The defense is, like you said, they're kind of coming together. They're looking good. That you could tell the play calling has changed from the first couple of weeks as well. They're being way more aggressive. And today, I was so happy because they were aggressive for the whole game. Yes. Even into the fourth quarter. They didn't do that classic Panthers lay off, let them get big chunk plays.
Nope.
And waste the clock. They were still coming after them offensively as well.
Yeah.
We were still throwing the ball in the fourth quarter, even though we were up 31-14 at one point.
Yeah, so absolutely. That's what you need to win in this league. Arizona is a high-powered offense. They have a very good hurry-up offense as well. Just keep the foot on the throttle. Don't let up. And that's what they did today.
Yeah, and this was a great game. You mentioned a little bit of the stats, but 30 first downs for the Panthers in this game.
We just 7 up yardage.
11 third down efficiency, and then they were 1 for 1 on a fourth down, a big fourth down too. Curtis Samuel, hats off to you, man. A couple of massive third down catches that kept drives going.
Yeah,
and one of them a very tough catch. He had to go up over a defender and snagged it out of the air. Just good game for him. Curtis was involved in this game. He had 4 targets last week, I think, another 4 targets this week, only 3 catches for 51 yards, but he, like we said, 2 of the big ones.
Yeah, and he seems to be getting into that role of 3-4 catches a game, 50, 60 yards. That's great. He's a nice little piece.
Yeah.
Robbie Anderson obviously is just blowing up.
Yeah, you and I texted you at one point during the game, and I said, is Robbie Anderson our number 1 receiver now? I don't think there's much of an argument.
No. Obviously Teddy feels comfortable with Robbie Anderson. And Robbie Anderson is getting open. 8 receptions, 99 yards. And I
on
think
11 targets.
if we didn't have such a large lead, I'm sure it probably would have been more. We kind of did a lot of more dip and dunk and a little bit more runs towards the end, but
yeah. And speaking of runs, Reggie Bonifant got involved quite a bit today in the rushing game. 10 carries for 53 yards, had a couple of nice long runs, a 22-yard run, and he had 2 catches for 18 yards and that big touchdown, first touchdown of the game, I think. So nice job, Reggie. Mike Davis, another very good game. I mean, 16 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown, 5 catches, 27 yards. So they're keeping him involved in the passing game as well. 21 total touches for him for over 100 yards.
Yeah.
So he's filled in so well for Christian.
Yeah, he really has. I really like this 1-2 of Mike Davis and Bonifant. I know last week we were saying we want Bonifant more touches, and this is what we got. And it was a nice – Mike Davis ran absolutely phenomenal. He ran hard every time. But I also like having Bonifant more of the electric type of runs too.
Yeah, they're different runners for sure. Mike Davis, we sort of mentioned Mike Tolbert last week, but today I saw it even more. Like he's the same size. He's not quite as big as Mike Tolbert, but it's just a powerful runner, great hands. I like Mike Davis
refuses
a
to
lot.
go down on one tackle or one player. He fights for every yard, and I love that.
For a guy that we didn't know a lot about coming into the season, just a really nice surprise. And, unfortunate that he has to, Christian McCaffrey has to go down for him to get, a lot of playing time. But it's good to have a guy like this just in case. Teddy today, 26 of 37, 276 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did have a pick. But let's talk about the run.
Yeah.
The first half where he juked, I think, 3 Arizona defenders out of their shoes. Looked like, I don't want to say Cam Newton because he might have been even more shifty than Cam Newton, but he looked great in that run.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh my goodness, I was not expecting a Teddy Bridgewater run for this much and a touchdown, an 18-yard run. Like it was amazing. It was awesome.
And 18 yards right up the middle. He was making guys miss.
I will say when we signed him, I thought he was a pure pocket passer. I didn't realize his mobility was as good as it is. And it's like a little bonus in that signing, in my opinion.
And he seems to be getting more comfortable because this is the most rushing yards he's had for the Panthers, certainly his first rushing touchdown. And the most times he's actually carried the ball in a game. So looking forward to that. Let's talk about the defense, man. The defense, other than that kind of garbage time fourth quarter touchdown, absolutely shut them down. Shut the Cardinals down. And they had a game plan today, you could tell, to not allow big plays.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they did.
And they used Jeremy Chin great. They had him spying most of that first half. And you could tell, I think he only threw for like 60 yards in the first half. And they only had, I think they had less than 100 yards over.
Yeah, so it was something crazy, like it's like 17 or 18 attempts for like 54 yards or something. It was something ridiculous.
So he kept them in check. In that one big rush, he wasn't spying him. And so I don't know what happened, why they decided to let off on that. But for the most part, just great game by him. He didn't have any flashes, he plays, but he had 8 tackles, 5 solo.
Led the team in tackles again.
So I saw he's actually leading all rookies with the most tackles.
Yep, I saw that as well.
And you know who I didn't hear at all about today? Isaiah Simmons.
I heard his name a couple of times, but he wasn't even out there a lot. He had 1 tackle today.
No, I know.
Yeah, I think they've been pretty, fans of the Cardinals have been pretty disappointed with him.
Yeah.
Because he's not out there much.
Yeah. And
I'm thinking to myself, is Ron Rivera coaching that team? Is that why the rookie's not playing?
I mean, Cliff Kingsbury's a college coach, so you would assume.
Yeah, it's weird.
But Derek Brown had another solid performance. Had
Very
nice
good
big
performance, I think.
Tackle for loss. I mean,
couple of nice stops at the goal line or at the line of scrimmage.
So, I mean, we only gave up 129 yards, but still,
Well,
again,
again,
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
that
that
was
was
Kyler
Kyler Murray.
Murray. So,
All of it was Kyler Murray, basically. Kenyon Drake, 13 for 35. And then Chase Edmonds, 4 for 16, just that kind of guy. But yeah, I wouldn't, I think they had a very good day against the run, other than that one Kyler Murray run.
I want to give another shout out to Itor Gross Matos.
Yeah.
He
Finally heard
finally
his
showed
name.
up. Well, I guess he was injured for a little while, but first time he really kind of stepped up, caused that big fumble at the beginning there. I saw him flying around quite often. I don't have his hit totals, QB hits, but I wouldn't be surprised if he had a couple on there.
I'm showing 0 on ESPN, but obviously we know he got the sacks. So, of course, he hit the ball more than he hit Kyler.
This team really dominated this game. I think the score is
really
a little
did.
bit closer than it should have been.
I was going to say, I think this felt more like a 2-touchdown win. I really wish that they would have kept that score at 14, because I think they deserved it. I mean, that was just a really dominant victory.
They had 263 total yards.
Yeah. And we had 444, I think. Yeah, 444 total yards for the Panthers. Another shout out. We're just going to shout out guys. Rasul Douglas on Deandre Hopkins. It looked like pretty much most of the day. Held Deandre to 41 receiving yards, no touchdowns. Did have 7 receptions, but an average of less than 6 yards a reception. And he played him well.
Yeah, you can give up those plays, those 5-6 yards occasionally to a superstar going into this game, the best receiver in the league.
Easily. And shut him down. Absolutely. We usually do a grade for the game.
I'll give him an A because there is some room for improvement, but
okay.
Grading on the curve where I was expecting this game to be at A plus, but overall an A. I don't think you can really have much better of a game for the Panthers.
I agree. I'd go A. I'd go probably A minus, because I think there's still some room for improvement.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Heroes and zeros.
This is hard because I think the whole defense deserves some heroes. I mean, they played lights out. I'm going to go Itor Gross Matos just because he had a huge play on Kyler Murray in the first half, I believe, where it could have easily been a first down, but instead it was a 4th down. And then he got the sack fumble. Yeah. So I'm going to give it to him, and he really hasn't done much previous. So I feel like it's stepping stone. But overall, just the defense in general, Brian Burns, all you guys, Shaq Thompson, Jeremy Chin, just great job.
I'm going Curtis Samuel today as my hero. Only 3 catches, but 2 just drive extending catches that I think we scored touchdowns on those drives. So big plays by Curtis Samuel today. And, he doesn't often get the opportunity to be in the limelight. So I'm giving him the hero for this game. 0 is a tough one.
I'm not going to do a 0, man. I feel way too good about this team right now to really knock on somebody.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I'm giving my 0 to DeAndre Hopkins. How about that?
There you go. I mean, I think the only negative really I could say is just Teddy Bridgewater's deep throwing, his accuracy, and some of his deep throwing decision-making may need some work, but at least seeing them push it down the field now. So
yeah, I don't mind. Again, he there was a couple of other throws like you mentioned earlier that could have been intercepted, but I like the fact that they're taking the shots.
I do too.
I like it, and the timing will get better.
Yeah,
it's still early for these guys.
Yeah, and this team didn't have a real preseason, didn't have any, the training camp was completely different than normal. So this is the first time gelling together, and
we're one of the youngest teams in the league.
Yeah.
So all that we're seeing right now is just going to get better as they get experience, as the coaching staff gets experience, as they learn to play together. It's just going to get better.
Mm-hmm. if you're a Panthers fan, you have to be just so ecstatic with where this team is at compared to where we thought it would be. And I don't want to hear anybody else mention ever the Panthers are going to draft Trevor Lawrence, because that is by far out of the realm of possibility now, unless they trade up. And I don't see them doing that.
I don't see anybody trading out of the number 1 spot if they have an opportunity to get him.
The Jets are on the clock. I mean, whoever.
Yeah, honestly, the Jets. Christian comes back. I mean, there's no telling what this offense could look like. And I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch Panthers games again.
It really is. I mean, we're putting up 30 points a game. If the defense is starting to take shape and actually, not every drive ends in points for the other team, I mean, I am so much happier right now than where I thought I would be right now.
Agreed. And we're 2-2 in the best way because we're on a winning streak. So we're on a 2-game winning streak.
When was
Those
the last
first
time
2
we
games
had a
are so
winning
far away
streak?
from each other. I know it's been a while, right?
I think we did last
Kyle
year.
Allen had a few in a row, but it's at least been close to a full season worth of games. So
yeah.
All right, man. Good day.
Yeah.
Good day.
We want to thank everybody for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. And if you leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, we'll read your comment on the show.
We will be back on Thursday to preview the Carolina Panthers Atlanta Falcons matchup. Could be the Atlanta Falcons are 0-4 going into that matchup. We'll see. We'll see. But until then, everybody, wear your Panthers gear. Get the jerseys on. Sing Sweet Caroline. Let's do this. Panthers 2-2. Everybody stay safe. Keep pounding.